Peace to the family. So I was just here thinking to myself that, you know what? It's time to really talk to my people. Because I do a lot of posts, and some of my posts comes off as thought-provoking, and I understand. And I do that on purpose, because thought provocation is the key to higher consciousness, in my opinion. And so I feel it's very important. I think it's a financial imperative for us to see material success come out of the likes of our teachers. Peace to the family. And the reason why I say that is because if you can't see your teachers being materially successful, what does that say about their doctrine? So I want to talk to you about growing wealth. The reason why I do what I do is so I can motivate our people into a space where they'll realize, man, they can do better. Because a lot of times we really feel like we can't do any greater than the situation that we're in. We become complacent. A lot of us have jobs and we're pretty much going to go the route to work for the same job for 15, 20 years and retire. A lot of us have mortgages and we believe that we're going to be able to pay for this mortgage for 30 years, 30-year fixed rate mortgage. And if that doesn't work, we're going to turn around and say, you know what, we're going to modify the loan. Or we wind up needing some cash, we're going to pull off a reverse mortgage. But these things are all a setup, family. All of these things are a setup. You have to understand that. All these things are an incredible setup. Peace to the family. So I wanted to talk to y'all because a lot of people misinterpret what I project to be showing off instead of saying, you know what? This is a day in the life of Brother Polight. If I were to show you what I do day to day inside of a Toyota, hop out the Toyota and walk around in the hood, you know what y'all would say? Interested. But because I do it in expensive cars, you say he's showing off. What happened to the old Polight? It's the same Brother Polight that evolved. You shouldn't be looking for the old any version of anybody. I'm not looking for the old version of you. Because the presumption is we should be getting better by the days, not worse. We will make errors in the long run. So first thing I want y'all to do is get your pens, get your paper, and make sure you take notes or put the notes in your phone. Do what you got to do. I'm tired of doing the lecturing. Yes, I still lecture. Yes, I still come to different cities and towns. Sometimes I do it for free on the strength. Not often, though. Okay? But I'm telling y'all this. I created a serious opportunity for my brothers and sisters. As many of you know, I just walked into a good amount of wealth. Let me say it like that, as humble as possible. And so I decided to create a program for the people, a mentorship program for the people, so I can empower them individually. And the reason why I want to empower my people individually is so we can create a successful collective. So if you're interested in the mentorship program, yes, it costs. My consultations cost. I charge by the hour for my consultations. Don't feel uncomfortable. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But please don't badger me because I have to charge for consultations. Okay? Just looking at the numbers of the people that's already in the chat right now, people that are already live with me right now within my first 3 to 4 minutes. If we cut that number in half and cut that number in half, I still wouldn't be able to do an hour consultation with all those people, plus cut that number in half again. All right? If I did an hour consultation for 24 people, I would not be able to wash my own behind, teach, homeschool my children, or do anything to make any kind of money, because 24 hours of my cycle for the day would be occupied talking to other people. If I were to give people a half hour and speak to 48 people, that would still be the whole day. So that's not fair to me. So I have to be compensated to some extent, and I don't even charge a lot for my consultations. Yes, I charge $200 an hour, $300 in person for my consultations. If you're interested, go to brother, POLIGHT45@gmail.com. If you're interested in a mentorship, go to brother, POLIGHT45@gmail.com. What I do with my mentorship program is I walk you through step by step. The mentorship program is an investment in addition to the education. So you make the information applicable. I don't sell programs where, hey, I charge you, and guess what? After I charge you, you say, man, that information was nice, and you do not gain. I make sure that the information is applicable, so whatever you get charged for, you can take that information, you can replicate it and do something with it later on in the future. The reason why I changed my standard is because I don't want to be known as the lecturer. I don't want to be, let me make it more clear, I don't want to be known as the lecturer for 10 years straight. I don't want to do that. You see how this Negro says, them crackers is paying you to keep your mouth closed. Mouth closed about what? You see how idiotic people are? They come into this. We talking about wealth building. We talking about wealth building. And he's talking about crackers. I leave these people in. I don't like to kick them out. I leave those people in the chat. And the reason why I do is because people need to understand how unfocused we are. And some of these people are actually agents. Their goal is to distract us from the situation at hand. So we have to grow wealth. This is the crown doctrine. And me personally, I'm tired of being in black groups where we all are talking black power, black power, black power. Yeah, I'm home. I'm doing my thing. I'm chilling right now. But I'm tired of being in black organizations and groups and forums where everyone is saying group economics. We have to put our money together. We have to pool our funds. And then when it's time for everyone to put up their money, some people got $100. Some people got $50. Yes, you are distracting me with the text. My publicist is such a funny guy. So, yes, they say, you know what? I only got $10 to donate. And another brother says, hey, I got $50. And the sister says, well, I'll put up 100. But the reality is, none of us really got the money to make this thing move. Now, of course, we could say this. We could all say this. You know what? Black people make up 14% of America. This is what we reportedly spend on sneakers and shoes and everything. So we should be able to do this, that, and the other. Yes, in a perfect world. But all of us are not sane. All of us don't have the same spirit consciousness, and all of us don't have the same income. So what we're going to have to do is create a successful collective. So I have transmuted my disposition and my goal, as far as an educator is concerned, to individually teach people. Why? I want to individually teach people because if I empower you to establish or grow a certain amount of wealth, and I empower another person to establish or grow a certain amount of wealth, and with these people that I'm educating, they also are empowered to put people on payroll, because too many of our businesses are sole businesses, meaning only one person is running the business. So people say, oh, I got a shea butter company. How many people you employ? Just myself. Oh, I got a shirt company. How many people you employ? Me and my friend. We got to find a way to put people on payroll. That's empowerment. So now what I decided to do, I'm like, you know what? What if I could be responsible for a network of people that individually have the power to donate $1,000. Individually have the power to donate $5,000. That'll change the situation. That's changing the game. Because we're going to keep playing around expecting all black people to be down with our liberation, and that's not going to work. We can't expect all black people to be down with the liberation just because they're black. So we got to stop talking that if black people was us buying them sneakers. No, you know what it is? It's marketing. Someone did an incredible job, maybe even brainwashing to a certain extent, but also marketing where we feel like we have to buy those items. That's what it is. Okay? So we got to all do our part. So me personally, I want to individually empower people to grow into success. So you may say, man, but what's up with all the fancy cars and the beautiful areas that you be in and the expensive home you have and all that other stuff? What's that about? Well, I'm just showing you, like, you can't fake success. I mean, by now, all of that should have disappeared. I'm going on my 3rd year, living the life, and I think there's a responsibility on behalf of people who teach what they teach to show you they're about that life. So if I teach you economics, I should be able to show you I'm about that life, right or wrong. If I'm teaching economics, I should be able to show you about that life. I should be able to say, well, this is my life day to day. Look at it over and over and over. I'm still here. In fact, it gets better and better by the year. I should be able to show you the people that I'm in a network with. Therefore, when I show you me with celebrities, I'm not doing that to show off. I'm doing that to say simply, yeah, we rubbing shoulders. Yeah, this person knows Brother Polight. You feel me? That's why I do what I do. I have a responsibility to show you what it looks like day to day. Because that validates what I teach. Because if I didn't do it, and I just simply told you, oh yeah, I do some work for this one, I do some work for that one, you know what people will say? How come we never see it? Now, I'm not going to OD in a quest to show everyone every damn thing, but enough day to day or month to month, year to year for you to say, you know what, that's real. Because I'm going to tell you this, you got a lot of so-called black power militants that tell you about kicking white folks' ass and stepping on their neck and it's time to bang on this beast. But if you actually put them to task, they do more lecturing than they do banging on the beast, unless they're cursing them out on YouTube. And YouTube banging isn't exactly banging on the beast. So you could verbally thrash the people that you're against. You could verbally thrash the people that you're against. But the reality of the matter is, where's the work being done? Are you putting in the work? That's the question. Are you putting in the actual work? So, if you're banging on the beast, can we get some footage? Can we at least see boots on the ground and you really going in? Oh, you're banging on the beast by doing semi-motivational lectures, encouraging other people to go hard against white folks. You're just the guy who talks us into the situation. See, I don't want to be part of that. And I damn sure don't want to be on the lecture circuit for 10, 15 years, regurgitating somewhat the same thing, because then what's going to wind up happening is I'm going to start making up information because I'm running out of lectures. But I'm going to need the money because I'm making the money off of the lectures. So you know what I did? I fell back. I said, well, I'm going to show y'all. I don't need to do no lectures. And I don't need to pitch nothing to the community. So I took a hiatus. And I went and I took my skill set and I multiplied it in so many different ways. I was just a writer in the conscious community and a lecturer. I came out here and I became a manager. I became a mentor. I became an author to people. Okay? Ghostwriting, doing screenplays and treatments, and now even acting. Okay? And I'm working on writing my first play. And I'm also working on a poetry book. So I took one talent and I multiplied it. Turned it into a business. I'm damn near an industry in myself. Like Jay-Z said, I'm not a business, man. I'm a business, man. You walking with me? So that's what this is about. It's about taking this thing to the next level. I'm from Brooklyn. That's where I'm from. I'm in Beverly Hills now, but I'm from Brooklyn. Okay? That's what I do. And so people say you ain't helping your people, but I am. I created the mentorship program to help my people. Yes, my program costs. We can work things out. But I'm coming from a place of experience. It's just like with relationships. There's a lot of people teaching about relationships, but I'm polygynous, and I've been with 4 of my wives for 11 years now. All 4. But I've been with my first wife for 19 years. But I don't have no degrees in certification in sociology and psychology and family affairs. But I do got a bunch of experience that I think qualifies, especially being a black man, living in our diaspora here in America, coming out of poverty, having been homeless and in shelters, and even in juvenile detention in addition to being in prison. So for me to make it out the muck and the mire, I believe that my experience certifies me to be able to share information with the people. It's a fact. It's a fact. So with my mentorship, guess what? I'm able to do a whole lot. But the key is being able to build wealth, grow wealth. What do you have to do when you're building wealth? First of all, the goal should be able to be, your goal should be, if you're not in this space, your goal should be, I should be making $150,000 a year minimum. Why? Because that's where wealth begins. Wealth begins at $150,000 a year. Wealth begins at $150,000 a year. It's the first thing you got to know. Wealth begins at $150,000 a year, and everybody should be able to invest at least 1/3 of their income without hurting themselves, which the magic number becomes 50,000. But many of us don't even make $50,000 a year. So if what is stipulated is that we need to be able to have at least 50 grand to invest year to year, and most of us don't even make 50 grand a year, we already have a problem. Now you may say, man, so this brother's talking about what, life coaching? I call myself a conscious advisor, but you could say a coach, I don't mind. Now you may say, man, what the hell we need a coach for? Well, I'm gonna tell you this. When you went to school, you needed a teacher. When you suffer from alcoholism or addiction, you need counseling. When you go on a team, you need a coach. But when it comes to making this money, you don't need nobody, right? That's ignorant. That's ignorant. So in every other facet of life, you need counseling. You need mentorship. You need a coach. You need something to help you along your way. In school, they call it a guidance counselor. You feel what I'm saying? But when it comes to money, we never had a coach. We never had the support we needed. This is the problem. We don't get the support that we need because we're not even taught, yo, you know what? You need someone to walk you through that understands these things. And I'm not just coming from my own personal experience. I'm coming from having a team. I have my own manager, I have my own agent, have my own entertainment attorney, have my own accountant, 2 of them. And that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. But wealth begins at $150,000 a year. And you should be able to invest 1/3 of your income. 1/3 of your income. Poverty begins for a family of 4 at $32,000 a year, and for an individual at $15,000 a year. This is a fact. This is a fact. So, and what I always strongly urge to people, there's times where I tell everybody, if you got something going on, solicit it. But then when there's times when I'm telling you what it is I have to offer, let's be real. Let's be real. So here we go. Someone says, you are as fake as it gets. Well, what's real is you're not on your platform telling people what you have to offer. Instead, you're on my platform trying to distract people from me. You feel me? That's what I'm telling you about our people. Some of them are real dimwits. They're real stupid. Why don't you spend the time developing yourself instead of trying to destroy someone else? Because I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing. And I'm just going to continue to live the way I live and better and greater every year. Every year, you can't front. If you've been keeping up with Brother Polight, every year, I go up exponentially. I step up my homes. I step up my cars. I step up my businesses. Every year, I add an additional business to the game because you should have at least 9 incomes. You should have at least 9 incomes. I don't give a hell if one of them only make you $6,000, $7,000 a year. You should have at least 9 incomes. The goal should be to be one of the 5%, amongst the 5%. Only 5% of America is making $150,000 or more a year, which is where wealth begins. Which is where you can comfortably invest without living below par. Only 5% of Americans make $150,000 or more a year. You should be part of the 5%, but the goal is to work your way into that 5%. If you're interested, you email me today, brother, POLIGHT45@gmail.com. Understand this, when you're dealing with your people, you know what they do? You can tell your people how dope this information is, but you know what they'll say? Let me watch you do it first. They want to see if it works for you. The interesting part is after it works for you, then they want to get on. And they want you to expend your energy to start them off where you started at, when in fact you have a responsibility to yourself to keep going forward. Because when you got put on, you took the purported risk. You took the time out to do the study. You took the time out to do the research. So I got a lot of good brothers and sisters that's from the hood who feel like, yo, you know what? You owe me. Why you don't look out for me? I'm your family. I've been down with you from the beginning. You wasn't down with me when I was applying myself, doing the study, when I made mistakes, when I lost money, when I gained money. You wasn't down with me. So you see, we got to be real. We talking about having a portfolio. Talking about setting up a trust and having fund managers to set you up a portfolio. That's right. Or maybe tax liens, a portfolio of tax deeds, a portfolio of micro loans, invested in startup companies that'll give you interest if they fail and way more interest if they should succeed. No risk investments. That's what we're talking about. Treasury direct accounts, no risk investments. Bitcoin is pretty interesting too. I mean, just last week, the stock rose from 1,300 to 1,900 inside of 4 to 5 business days. Inside of 4 to 5 business days. So let's think about that. That's real. Inside of 4 to 5 business days, it went from $1,300 to $1,900, and that is going to be the new currency. That's going to knock out PayPal. That's going to knock out Stripe. That's going to knock out all these other systems that they got out there. But you know, we talking about a portfolio, so we're not just talking about only Bitcoin. I'm just telling you, when you have someone that can properly coach you, take you in the right direction, coming from a standpoint of personal success. Because like I said, it ain't just me. When you deal with me, I give you access to my people as well. So I got a good brother that works for New York Insurance, one of the biggest insurance companies in the world. Off the chain. He gave me a wealth of advice. So, you know, you gotta figure this out. See, rather than people saying, oh, you moved away and you're around white folks and you left your people, but guess what? You gotta go where the information's at. I mean, ain't too much information on the basketball court, but I learned a whole lot of information on the golf course. The smaller the ball, the more education. Sometimes that happens. And it sounds weird. The smaller the ball, the greater the education. There's a disconnect. This doesn't mean people who play basketball aren't intelligent. I'm just telling you, there's different information circulating in different cultures. And some information isn't as popular in other cultures. So our culture, our community, we haven't popularized a lot of the information that we need for our family to thrive. And the forums that we do go in to get information, the email address is brother, Polight, 45 @gmail.com. The email address is brother, Polight, 45. The number's 45 @gmail.com. That's where you go if you're interested in mentorship or if you're interested in a consultation. Yes, I charge for both. It happens. It's not the end of the world. Like I expressed earlier, if I were to talk to 24 people for 1 hour each, where would that put me? I would have no time in the day to do nothing else for myself because I would have committed myself to 24 people. If I broke it in half and did half an hour, I would only be able to talk to 48 people out the day. I'm almost at 1,000 people. I can imagine more than 48 people would have liked to speak to me for free. So I would have to break up those 48 people for 30 minutes or 96 people for 15. I'm sure there's more than 96 people on this stream that would like to talk to me personally for free. So yes, I do have my free conversations, but we got to be for real here. We have to be for real here. We have to be absolutely for real in our approach towards success. We can't always be on the nothing to something. Get something for nothing. There's a lot of information on the golf course. So, you know, I had Negroes like, man, this dude is out there golfing. He just do anything to be around white folks. I do anything to get around information that I'm not familiar with and see what I could do with it and how I could bring it back to my community if they would listen. Yesterday I was on the live stream and brothers wanted to cut me off. My brother Tahaka Bay invited me on his live stream. He said, yo, can you come in and just show some love? You know, I'm like, man, I'm always down. I feel good that I could be in a position to help somebody get hit and stir up good conversation. My consultation is $200 an hour. Or $300 in person by the hour. Okay? For someone that asks in the chat. This is not the time to talk about Hebrew Israelites. I'm very embarrassed by our people sometimes. We're talking about growing wealth. Try to stay focused, my people. You know, this is not the time to try to tell me, oh, the Hebrews got you. This is not the time. We're not talking about that. We're talking about paying the bills, okay? No matter how much you pray to that Hebrew God, you still got to pay your bills. Let's be for real sometimes. Sometimes put that stuff to the side. It's not about supporting your Hebrew community. Okay? Yeah, we could FaceTime. FaceTime would be $200 an hour. Wouldn't it be $300? And people say, man, if you was about the community, the email is brother, Polight, 45 at gmail.com. Brother Polight. Brother Polight. Brother Polight. You see, because what you're going to learn is that your network is your net worth. Your network is your net worth. Okay? Your network is your net worth. Yeah, so I was on Tahaka Bay's show yesterday, and it was real funny because he was talking about all the great things he wants to do, and he wants to create a Moorish community. And I'm down with him. I told him he got my full support. That's my brother. I have a great deal of love for him. Real estate is always a great investment. It just depends on what type of real estate. I know the tax lien, tax deed market as a secondary market is a very beneficial market. Okay? But it definitely requires a trust in the fund manager. If you go in the outer world to try to get it, you probably won't even be able to get a trust established unless you have 50K or more to start the funding. This is where the empowerment comes in with us, because we get it done for you on the strength, then give you direction and how to maneuver. But that's a whole nother thing. Okay? I always volunteer hours to consultations, but I can only volunteer but so many hours. This is what I'm explaining to my people, so I don't want no one else writing me disrespectful messages. Oh, so if I don't pay you, you can't talk to me? Well, that's what the lectures are for. That's what the live streams are for. That's when I put the links into the chat for the people to speak to me directly is for. You feel me? You go write, hey, I want you to talk about this on your live stream. And then I give it up. Those of you that watch my live streams, you know, when I'm talking about the business, I put so much information out. I got a credit live stream on I Am Brother Polight. Make sure you subscribe to I Am Brother Polight on YouTube. Go to YouTube and subscribe to my channel, I Am Brother Polight. Click that bell so you can get a sound alert, a notification whenever I stream. When I do the economics, I'm always teaching. Always teaching. I'm always teaching, okay? Somebody said I'm ignoring a comment. Keep in mind how difficult it is when you got over 700 people online and people are writing while you're talking, how difficult it may be to read everything that's being written. And when people are texting me, there's text coming across my screen. There's over 700 people on this live feed, and there's plenty of people writing. And someone writes, and you're ignoring my something. I didn't even see it by the time I wrote you're ignoring something, the damn message went. Cut it out. This is what I'm talking about. I wish I looked at the name so I could continue to make sure I ignore it the next time I see it. Come on, how much things can I do at one time? I'm reading messages as I'm talking periodically. I'm getting text at the top of my screen while the messages are at the bottom of my screen. And I got to keep my train of thought for what I'm speaking about so I don't sound schizophrenic, answering the questions for the text, answering the questions for the chat, and also talking about the things I want to talk about. Let me go back to Tahaka Bay's show. Thank you, family. Do not be distracted, teacher by Shakur Johnson. Appreciate that. Back to business. Appreciate that. Get over yourselves. Now, that is a comment of the day. Get over yourselves. My credit is getting straight thanks to you. Peace, King. Curtis Barnes, I appreciate the support and thank you for the acknowledgement. Thank you for the acknowledgement. Lower the price for the hood. I already lowered the price for the hood. Let me explain that part. You tell me to lower the price for the hood. How you figure I didn't already lower the price? I'm mad that I'm charging this amount of money for my consultations because you don't know what I miss out on. Like right now, this is free. What I'm doing right now is absolutely free. This is free labor. I'm answering questions people are writing, and I'm also expounding on things that I feel that you need to know that you may not ask me, so we can create questions out of the things that I share. Let me explain this. One thing that you're going to always learn in business is that you don't get paid what you're worth. You get paid what you negotiate. No dollar amount can be accredited to any service I provide that would be an accurate account of what my service is worth. And I'm gonna tell you why. You can't put a price on a person's spirit. I can offer to pay you something, and it's your right to be in a pose or affirm that it's a good price. But at the end of the day, this is your faculty. This is your spirit. And whatever you contribute to this world really can't have a dollar amount on it. So you don't get paid what you're worth. You get paid what you negotiate. What is it worth to speak to me about what I know? There ain't a dollar I could really put on that. But what I do got to do responsibly is factor in what it is that I do get paid on average, what it is that I do throughout the day, how much I value my own time to myself. When I choose to expend energy, how might I distribute my energy? And then I have to come to terms, okay, so how do we charge? You feel what I'm saying? So I understand you say, yo, do it low for the hood. But then understand this. I got expenses like you got expenses. So if I spend $7K for where I'm at, and if I got other properties that I got bills for, if I got insurance for my vehicles, then I got to factor in when I decide to take an hour out of my day, how much can I afford in terms of time to take out of my day to be compensated for the time I take out of my day, so that I don't hang myself based on my expenses. So when I say, oh, $200 an hour, $300 in person, I still think I'm doing myself a disservice, while at the same time I understand, you know, some people may not have that money. So I came up with what I thought to be a low dollar amount, so I can still connect with people from different tax brackets. Okay? So the price isn't... Sometimes people look at the price and they figure this is an attack against me from a lower income community, but they never consider what my expenses are as it relates to the time that I put forth to teach the people. Okay? You're going to be at the game tonight, Polight? Nah, I'm actually not going to be at the game. I'm not. The game is in Cleveland, so I'm not going to be at the game. I'm in California right now. Okay, so keep that in mind. Again, it's Brother Polight if you're interested in the mentorship. BROTHER, brother, POLIGHT 45@gmail.com. I'm at a point in my life where I said this: I'm tired of being in circles with black people, our people, and everyone says we have to employ group economics. We have to put our money together. We have to pool our funds. And when it's time to put that money up, I only got 5, only got 10. Hey, this person got 100. Everyone clap and celebrate. Let's go. Hey, everyone's excited. And then we get out of here. We got a whopping $1,200 to do what? $1,200 from a whole damn crowd of 500 people? $1,200 from... I've been there. I've been there. I've seen $1,200 raised in an audience over 500 people. And I just got better at learning how to raise the money to help a sister out, raise the money to help a brother. I've done it in D.C. at the Million Man March to help that store that allowed us to do a lecture get some money as a black business. I think it's a disgrace, but it also attests to a reality that if we can have hundreds of black people in a room and we can't at an instant say, you know what, we need 10 grand. If we got over 500 people in a room, we can't get 10 grand. We don't need no more of them black power lectures they have been having. That's talking about kill the crack, put your foot on his neck and all that. We need to change the narrative. Because if we got 500 plus people in the lecture and we can't raise 10 grand. Most of these brothers, they can pull at least 100, 150 people in their room. If they could pull 100, 150 people in that room and they can't get 2,000, let's be honest. If they can't pull $5,000 per 150 people, I think something's wrong. I think something's wrong. That should not be the case. That's ridiculous. And that means that whatever we've been teaching about that whole time is not what we should be teaching about. Or if we FaceTime, it's still going to be the $200 an hour. You know, I like seeing people when I'm talking to them. So it still would be $200 an hour on the consultation. And like I said, the mentorship, we get it in. The mentorship is an investment while simultaneously we're coaching you through the process. Like I said, when a person has a problem with anger, they get counseling. When a person's playing for a team, they get a coach. You feel me? When we talk about this money, you're just left out there by yourself. Think about it. Even if we turn around and we say, you know what? Think about it. Oftentimes, we go to school. You go to school from pre-K to 12th grade. That's 14 years of schooling. And you don't get a real estate class, and you don't get a class on credit. How the hell can you go to school for 14 years and get no class on credit? But they're preparing you for life. Okay? Thank you, brother. That's what tax advisors charge, $300 an hour. But how can we be for real? Let's be for real, man. Let's be for real. How the heck can you go to school for 14 years from pre-K to 12th grade and there not be one class on credit? As important as credit is to society, you should know something's not right with the system. Something's not right with the system. And of course, you're going to trust your bank to save, right? Hold on, let's really think. Let's really talk. You're going to trust your bank to save. But you know, we can go online right now and we can see how many millions of dollars Wells Fargo has stolen. But black people go in there every day and open up another account. We damn sure could look at BOFA, Bank of America, and we can see how much millions of dollars they've stolen. I'm talking of recent. But black people still go in there and open up accounts. And you can get a student loan and spend tens of thousands of dollars or be tens of thousands of dollars in debt. And guess what? You're not going to ask for a refund even though you didn't get the career that you was looking for. And you're going to go to school from pre-K to 12th grade. And you're never going to get a real estate class in 14 years. You're not going to get a real estate class in 14 years. And you're not going to get a credit class. Not one in 14 years. You don't see the setup. But if it's time to play for a basketball team, you're going to get a coach. You're going to get a coach if it's time to play for a basketball team. But you ain't going to get a coach when it comes to making money. But I'm tripping. So what I'm telling you is, if you're interested in the mentorship program, and make sure you leave your phone numbers. Don't just send an email, send your name and send your phone numbers. Don't just send your email, send your name and your phone numbers. And again, it's not so much that I be showing off. That's not what it's about. I'm just saying, if I'm a black power militant, you should see me get into a fight here and there with the white man. That's all I'm saying. You shouldn't just be on YouTube. That's all I'm saying. You shouldn't be limited to a YouTube presence if you're so gangster. Because that's what you do. So when someone gets killed and they say, yo, Polight, how come you ain't there? I show up when I can. But I mean, go to the homies who got the boots on and the vest, the rocket launcher looking shit, the cargo pockets. Go to them, because they the ones that's always talking about kicking someone's ass. I'm not the one talking that shit. I'm talking about making the bread. Because militaries have to be funded anyway. You ain't going to war without any money. I mean, what we're going to do? We're going to purchase the weaponry from the people that's shooting us? You see, the whole concept is twisted. The whole concept is twisted. I'm trying to wake y'all up. Oh, of course, Ohio got love. That's right. Went to the mayor's office, City Hall, and got my award last time I went out there for my philanthropy and my authorship and my contributions to the city. I appreciate that, man. You know, Ohio wasn't even one of my favorite cities, man, but they showed me so much love, and that was after I finished shooting a movie out there with Victoria. So I definitely got a lot of love for Ohio, man, for recognizing my philanthropic actions, feeding the homeless, and my contributions as an author and setting up all those lectures and inspiring the youth out there to organize, especially during those volatile times with police brutality. And I was out there on CNN frontline where they had tanks and snipers on the building pointing at me while I'm on TV. And we marched, man. And we got the people out there buildings and we walked them down to the church and we taught. And that was powerful to have the church community and the Black Power community all together. That was a very powerful experience. So I'm definitely grateful to the government officials in Ohio for recognizing me and the people that worked alongside me for me to be recognized eventually. So yes, Ohio got love for me. I got love for y'all. Love Ohio, that strength for real. So yeah, so you know, unfortunately this battery will die soon. But I just want to tell you, man, we got to really get into the idea of getting guidance to get to the next level. You'd be surprised what a conversation do to get you in the right path. And just like in school, you have a classroom filled with 30 people. Consider that the lecture forum where there's a teacher. But sometimes you need a more personal connection or communication from the teacher. Sometimes you need a tutor. You feel me? So there's counseling, there's mentoring, there's coaching, there's tutoring. But where are we at when it comes to this money? We just don't trust no one. We don't talk to nobody. We don't do anything with anyone, and we just wing it. But don't you know the system was designed for us to wing it while other people are growing into inherited wealth, which is how you diffuse a debt wealth system. We're the ones that's subject to a debt wealth system. How are we subject to a debt wealth system? In order for you to get a car, you got to get a car note. Most times you got to owe somebody money, debt. In order for you to get a house, you got to get a mortgage, death pledge, a pledge until you die, because you're probably going to get the house around 33, 35 years old. You're going to get a 30-year fixed rate mortgage. Lifetime expectancy is 71, 72. So by the time you pay off the mortgage, presumably you'll be able to pay it off under the best circumstances and terms. Despite hyperinflation and food inflation, you'll be on the way out by the time you finally pay for that property. It won't be held in trust. Chances are it's going to be a matter of probate. Government going to take it back and resell it to another unsuspecting, misguided, uneducated consumer. So to get a property, you're going to go into debt. To get a car, to get a house, you'll go into debt via mortgage. To get a car, you have a car note, you go into debt. To go to school, you need education, you're going to debt. So you need the car to go to school, you're going to debt. You need a car to go to school, you're going to debt. You'll be driving to school. So one debt for another. So you need a car, you're going to debt via the car note. You need to go to school, you get a student loan, you're going to debt. You need to get a house, you get a mortgage, you're going to debt. And most importantly, if you want to build credit, the number one way to build credit is to go into debt to build a credit profile. So it's a debt wealth society. Debt is a greater commodity than rice is for Haiti, than corn is for Mexicans. Debt is America's greatest commodity, which demands the unsuspecting consumer. So the only way to diffuse the momentum of debt wealth is inherited wealth. So one generation will have to make the sacrifice, which is to expend the time and the energy towards the education to diffuse the momentum of the next generation's debt wealth strategy being employed against them strategically to keep them down or to suffer the lowly status quo of the lower class. Again, like we said, poverty begins at $32,000 a year for a family of four, and at $15,000 a year for an individual. That's poverty. That's poverty. And wealth begins at $150,000 a year. And according to the Standard & Poor's, what will $1 million equate to? $1 million will equate to about $600,000. So we're looking at a 6 to 10 ratio. We're looking at a 3 to 5. So what will your $60,000 be? Or what will $100,000 be in that same ratio? So the problem with this is if you forecast money, you may be walking into $100,000 on your pension, but that $100,000 on your pension may only be worth $60,000 when you walk into it. It's a $40,000 difference because the depth of money is going to change 30 years from now, 20 years from now. So we have to start creating our own pensions, our own annuities These are plans that we got to have, but we don't forecast because we're like, yo, I just need money right now. I don't really want to plan for 10 years forward. I don't really want to plan for 20 years forward. And this is why every generation of ours keeps being the bottom class, because no one is coming up with the wealth building strategies for today in addition to tomorrow. And anybody that looks good has to be compromised, has to be working with the white man, has to be brown nosing, has to be Illuminati, has to be a fraud, has to be a scammer. And while they scare you away from anybody that has the abilities to coach you into a better paradigm, you wind up having nothing this year, next year, and the year to come. Because whether you realize it or not, you all need a coach. This is a fucking game that they're playing against us. And the only way to win this game is to have coaching. It's not just me by myself. I empower people with members of my team that I used to help me to become successful. I extend their services onto my people as well. That's what we do. That's what we do. So everything from credit repair to just wealth building in general, building portfolios, fund management, depending on what it is that you got to get done, I simply direct you to these people. A lot of y'all found out when you come to me, all I wind up doing is, oh, okay, that's what you need done. I got a guy who deals with that. You need to go over there and do that. I don't even deal with it like that because I'm straight. I don't want to have my hands in too much stuff. I'm doing what I'm doing. But I could be able to say, you know what, I know exactly somebody who can help you with that situation. But you got to start taking your life more serious. It's a fact. We got to start taking our life way more serious. Stop playing games with your life. Stop playing around and just thinking, you know, I'm going to wing it. You know, I'm afraid to talk to this one. I'm afraid to talk to that one. Yo, I'm paranoid. Yo, let me let my man do it. And if that works out, let me see what happens. And stop thinking that you're going to do stuff overnight. Success don't come overnight. That's a fact. And because success don't come overnight, a lot of us don't even invest because we'll be like, you know, if it's not going to happen overnight, if I can't get this quick flip, man, if I can't flip this money in 4 or 5 days, you feel me? You see, that's that shit that's going to make you wind up trapping and selling drugs and learning the hard way. You're welcome for the enlightenment, Marcus. Man, I'm coming out with the clean. Yeah. But that's what it is. That's what it is. Yeah, definitely gonna speak these facts. It's all love. Cause I'm just tired. It's brother Polight. Brother POLIGHT45@gmail.com. If you remember nothing, the main thing that I need y'all to start remembering whenever we have these builds. Sometimes I have to be a little redundant because I want to make sure that if people miss something, they get it back the next time around. Always remember this. Wealth begins at $150,000 a year. 1, you should be able to invest at least 1/3 of your income. 2, also understand that poverty begins at $32,000 a year for a family of 4, and it begins at $15,000 a year for an individual. So it's giving us over $100,000 of space that I still call poverty until I get to the $150,000. You should be always able to invest at least 1/3 of your income. At least 1/3 of your income should always be able to be invested. These are facts. The true 5%ers are the people that are making $150,000 or more a year. But just because you're making $150,000 or more a year doesn't mean you're in the clear, because normally as people's wealth grows, so does their expenses. Because we're just going to practice the same behavior even when we're making more money until we get better coaching. And it's nothing wrong with needing coaching. You know why? Because nothing has been taught to you from pre-K to 12th grade, which is 14 years. You wasn't taught credit. You wasn't taught real estate. So what do you really know about money by the time you're supposed to be functional in this world? School was supposed to prepare you to be an adult in this world. But you didn't learn nothing about how to acquire real estate, nor how to create wealth from good or great credit. So we getting our asses kicked. We getting killed out here. And it's all a setup. The number 2 things you need to know is real estate and credit. Number 2. And they snuck you through the school system for 14 years and not one parent cried or complained and said, yo, where the fuck is the real estate classes? Where are the credit classes? 3 is insurance. And that may sound, I mean, that's a missing word. That's an anomaly. That's an educational anomaly when it comes to our community. Because if I was to start talking to you about insurance, 900 people now. I'm glad that we are responsive to this education. If I was just, I'm mad that the phone gonna die. We just gonna rock this out for like probably 3 more minutes until we can get right. Oh, we got some time. We got some time. Yes, Brother Polight. Make sure you leave your phone number when you send the email. Please do not just send me an email and don't leave your phone number. Say, hey, Polight, I'm interested in the consultation. Let's get busy. Don't wait till next week. Don't wait till 2 weeks after this. We have this procrastination. We get the spirit. And because the stream is still going on, an hour later, yeah, I'm going to do that next week. We don't have time. I'm telling you. There's something called food inflation. You know, it's like 12 packs of cheese might cost $5. They take 2 slices out. It's a 10 slice now, 10 pack. And guess what? It now costs $7. Next generation, creep up on us. Now you're only getting 7 slices. Shit costs $9. That's called food inflation. Quarter bag of chips, now it's 35 cents. Gives you less chips, bigger bag. It's called food inflation. So you don't realize you feel the necessity to buy 2 packs when you used to buy 1 pack, because each pack now has less than it used to when you was alive. Now, by the time your children are born, they're born into this food inflation. They don't realize what you used to get in value. So they're already acclimated to spending too much money on food. They don't even have a concept of what too much is, because when the transition happened, we didn't educate them about food inflation. We didn't let them know, yo, listen, there used to be 12 slices in that motherfucker for way less. Now we down to 5 in your generation. They thinking, well, we getting 5. So long as we ain't at 4 or 3, I'm good. Same thing with tokens and Metro cards and car fare and tolls. Generations are growing into hyperinflation and food inflation, and we're not even realizing the impact that it's having on our lives, because it's so subtle as it changes from one year to the next, gradually by the quarter and by the dollar. By the time 10, 15 years go by, and because we don't teach wealth to the next generation, nor do we have those conversations really in our immediate circle, we don't realize that we're being overpriced. This is the hyperinflation. This is the food inflation. And this is having an impact on what we think we're going to walk into for our pension. It's real. It's real. Come on. I come from the era where them chips, there was a quarter bag of chips. I can't even find a quarter bag of chips no more. And it's normal to people. I'm like 35 cents. It used to be a quarter. It's real. It's real. It's real. It's real talk. Okay? I'm telling you some real talk here. I don't play games with this information. I don't play games. It's real. And I'm a young man. This is supposed to be old man information. This is old man information right here. They expect you to be 50, 60 years old when you start talking this talk. Y'all got to really forecast. You worrying about astrologers? You need to be able to forecast money. You need to really get right and focus on brothers and sisters that's paying attention to the money. Not just the liquid cash, but the opportunity. You got to get in forums where the opportunities are being spoken about. You got to get the magazines like Kiplinger's or the newspapers called Barron's. Okay? You got to get into them Fortune 500 conversations to see what they talking about, seeing what's next. Like I told you, Bitcoin 2 weeks ago, inside of 1 week, jumped from $1,300 to $1,900 inside 1 week. That was a $600 gain inside of 4 business days. You got to pay attention, but you got to have a team of people. But I know we grow insecure when someone starts talking to you about coaching, because we know it all. We don't really need advice from this person or that person. We damn sure can't trust black people, because most of your teachers throughout your life were non-blacks when it came to real pertinent information. When it came to heavy science and chemistry, we had to get foreign teachers. Our teachers were the gym teachers and the U.S. history and social studies teachers. Those were the black ones. So now, when you start hearing a black man, someone of my complexion, start telling you things, you're reluctant to receive me because I don't match the complexion of the information that you've been acclimated to learning from people that are non-black. The psychology behind education in itself is what sets us back. Because by the time someone who cares about you comes into the know and they start telling you, you grow hesitant. You like, hold on. Some part of your brain is telling you he's way too fucking dark for me to assimilate this data. And you're not going to get the data from people of other races because you're just not going to walk around finding too many white folks just going to stop and give up the information for you for free if they know it themselves because you live in a black community. So on one end, you say, man, why you move away from the community? On another end, when you get the information, it's like, but I'm not used to getting that kind of information from a member of my community. So you need a coach. Anytime you're looking to take something to the next level. But I'm going to tell you this. Anyone could play basketball for a whole bunch of years, and anyone could box. There go another one, trainer. Need a trainer. So there's counselors, there's mentors throughout life. There's counselors, there's mentors, there's trainers, there's coaches. But when it comes to money, we just totally oblivious to getting any help or any assistance. But again, you went from pre-K to 12th grade, 14 years, and got absolutely no advice, no knowledge, no classes, or no test on real estate and on credit and on insurance. 3 things black people are lacking in that will change their fiscal lives for the rest of their existence. Complete facts. I'm talking to you. This is some real talk. I'm talking to you. We got about 3 more minutes. I'm stretching this out. I can barely see me on the phone because my phone dying. I'm so mad I was on it prior because I really wanted to go into something, but we doing it. This is good. This is good talk. I think we still in the morning. Yeah, it's still morning over here. I never did a stream this early. I just got in the spirit from having a good conversation with a brother on the phone. And I'm like, you know what? Why not do this stuff early in the day? You know what happens with the streams? I'm so used to my schedule that I try to have my streams when I'm most free on my time, not knowing this is the internet. We worldwide. There's people available all sorts of hours, and we're neglecting some people during certain hours, during certain days of the week. Just being in a habit of catering to a time that caters to myself quite often. So I tried this out. This is pretty dope. We on a weekday. Damn near 1,000 people in here getting this knowledge. I think that's real fly. I think that's real fly. Thank you, Ken Johnson. Just said I'm a genius. I appreciate that. But it's all love, man. And so when they say, man, you need to give back to the community, I give back in the form of mentorship. That's how I give back. Like I said, I don't want to be doing lecture after lecture for 10 years straight. Because you know what I'm going to feel like? I'm going to feel like I'm on some funny stuff now. I'm going to feel like because I know y'all going to pay the tickets to come hear me speak, I'm just going to keep milking it until you get tired. And then I'm going to come up with something different. I left on the way out. Y'all know me. I'm doing lectures with over 1,000 people coming out, especially if it's a debate. I got people lined up around the corner. And I'm about to do another debate. Just out of love for the family. You know I'm going to do it in New York. That's the only thing I do for New York. I do the debates. Everywhere else, I do my lectures. So I will be getting back. I'm going to announce it, I think this week. I think this weekend I'm going to announce my next debate. I'm going to show love to the homies, though. I didn't really want to deal with the homies again because they be wild. But, you know, there's a large appeal and they're asking for me to come and do something with the family. So I'm going to come back and do something with the family, and hopefully we see a lot of maturity. I ain't going to cry, we don't. You know, I know how to get in the slugfest no matter what. But I'll be doing a debate about 2 months from now. Summertime, probably be August. We be in New York, we're going to make it happen. We're going to get it in. We're going to definitely get it in. But I want to thank you all for your time and for your energy. Make sure when you email me, you leave your full name, your phone number. You say, Polight, I'm interested in consultation. Polight, I'm interested in mentorship. And what I'm going to do, if you contact me now, I'll call you now in the order in which the last email just came. Don't be slick and try to email me 3 times in a row. It ain't worth it. I'll make sure I got about another hour and a half before I have to get on this set. Actually, oh man, I actually got an interview with the Money team today. Mayweather people. I got an interview with them about polygyny on Hollywood Unlocked. Brother Jason Lee and his staff. Shout out to them. You know, shout out to them. Shout out to the Money team. I'm about to go in. I actually got an interview with them around, I think 3 o'clock on Hollywood Unlocked, Uncensored. I'll be on their radio show 3 o'clock. Shout out to Tori Hart and Kevin Hart. Tori Hart was being interviewed by them. She was on her way out. I was on the way in, and she showed me a lot of love. I wound up hearing the interview, and she spoke very highly of me when she heard that I was the next one coming up to bat to do the interview. So I really appreciate her for doing that, just taking the time out to show me a lot of love. And she's one of the earliest celebrities that I encountered when I first moved out here with and built a great relationship with. And she's always been very supportive. She's a very conscious sister. And I love what she's been doing with her natural hair. And now she has a natural product line, and she's really strong in the woman empowerment. All women in general, black women in particular, she's doing a great job. So I want to show Tori Hart a great deal of love. Might have to post our pic today talking about her. I forgot we flicked up. That was pretty cool. So yeah, I'm definitely grateful for her. She's an amazing sister. Brother Polight 45 at gmail.com. Brother Polight 45 at gmail.com. If you have a problem with that one, you go to Young Phenom 45 at gmail.com. That's PHENOM 45 at gmail.com. Young Phenom 45 at gmail.com. Polight POLIGHT 45 at gmail.com. I thank y'all so much for the love, for the attention, to excellence, and the concern towards perfection. We're gonna make it happen. We're gonna do it together. Looking forward to talking to y'all one-on-one. That's the goal. We can only do but so much more lectures. Let's build and create an individual success collective, so that when we pool our funds, we can all put in the right amount of funds to get the job done in real time, because we cannot honestly expect all black people to just be down with causes that definitely impact us for the better good. It's only going to be the few. The world is ran by a select few. The world is ran by an elite amongst races. And if we're going to take our black community to the next level, it's going to have to be the elite amongst us in the form of those of us that are conscious and empowered by means of economics and education. So I thank y'all again. Peace. Brother Polight. Let's get it.